Come, my child, for bountifulness is yours.
Oh, what do we have here?
What? No, not you. You can have this quarter that I found on the way here.
Actually, I really admire Captain Yula.
Does Hoyoverse have favoritism?
为了感谢旅行者们在过去1年里的支持与陪伴，我们还将通过游戏内邮件的方式为旅行者们奉上3个纠缠之源。
大家一定记得前往寻星之旅获取免费的10连抽。
没错，不仅如此，大家还可以通过戳星之礼签到活动再领取10连抽。
But does Genshin have favoritism for its own characters? Well, then who's their favorite? Classifying favorite is a little difficult and inherently biased, so let's do our best by using facts and math to eliminate it. I'll have 5 categories. 1. Archon quest importance. 2. Story quests and hangouts. 3. Event appearances. 4. Banner history. And 5. Skins. Each character will get points for these, and in the end, whoever has the most points will be given the award of favoritism. These 5 categories will be scaled accordingly, so one banner is not the equivalent of being a main character in the Archon quest. Just for appearing in the Archon quest, a character will get 1 point. However, the more important and screen time they have in their respective region, the more points they'll get. Every character that has a story quest or hangout event will also be granted a point. Some characters like Noelle or Yoimiya have 2 quests, so they'll receive twice the amount of points. So far it's been pretty easy, but events is where it starts to get tricky. I will be considering flagship events only, so nothing small like web events. A character will be considered present in an event if you have to actively talk with them. However, characters like Ningguang have just naturally been in more events than someone like Sino, purely because Ningguang has been out for longer. I don't think this is very fair for Sino, so we need a function to account for this. I don't want to just straight up multiply the amount of events a character has been in by the version they were released, because it's also unfair to assume that someone like Kaya has been in twice the amount of events as Ayaka, since Kaya hasn't been out for twice the amount of time. To solve this, I'll need a math function that is always increasing, but increases at a decreasing rate. For my true math nerds, I need a function that always has a positive first derivative but always has a negative second derivative. This function is called the logarithmic function. In this case, I'm using this function. For banner history, I'll take the same approach to counteract the update release issue. However, there's a little more going on here. Double banners were released in 2.3, so for 5 stars, the chance of getting a banner was slightly rarer before that. For a 5-star banner before double banners, I'll give them 3 banner points that I'll put into my log function later. For a 5-star banner after double banners, I'll give them 2 banner points. 4 stars are unaffected by double banners though, so each 4-star will be given 1 banner point, since every single 5-star banner has 3 4-stars on it. We'll then put our banner points into that same function. Lastly, let's look at skins. I'm not going to be counting the 4 free skins, since from my understanding, Hoyoverse quite literally had to make them for the Chinese server. Every character with a skin will receive 1 point. Diluc will receive an extra point though for having a 5-star skin. So we have all our points. To scale the points though, we'll multiply each category. Even with the logarithmic scaling, characters that were too recently released like Furina just haven't been out for long enough to rack up enough points. And now we have our total. Let's start off with some small awards first. The character that has been in the most events regardless of when they were released
Didn't keep you waiting, did I?
is Venti, appearing in 1.4, 1.6, 2.6, 2.8, 3.1, 3.4, 3.5, and 4.1. Venti has appeared in 8 events so far. Albedo is in second with 7 events, and third is a 3-way tie between Hu Tao, Xiao, and Kaya, all with 6 events. The character that has had the most banners and the least amount of time
Time for a light show.
is Yoimiya, who has also had the shortest time between reruns across all characters. The character that received the most amount of points without being in the Archon quest even for a second
Is it time for me to join you?
is Hu Tao. But the character that has the most points is Zhongli with 61.58 points. Second place is Venti with 58.56 points, and in third is Raiden with 55.44 points. The first character that isn't an Archon is Ayaka at number 4, followed by Nahida at 5. The first 4-star appears at the 15th slot, held by Ningguang, and the next 4-star is Sincho at the 19th spot. But what's just as interesting are the most neglected characters. As I mentioned before, recently released characters are at a natural disadvantage even with the generous system, so it's no surprise to see Chevreuse at the bottom. The most neglected character that wasn't recently released though is Chi-Chi. No story quest, no banner, very minimal Archon quest involvement, and only appearing in 2 events puts her at the very bottom. Here's a graph of all the points received from every character if you're curious, and I've linked all the calculations in a spreadsheet in the description. This ordering isn't perfect, and again, it's a little unfair for more recently released characters, but I think ±5 spacing seems pretty accurate. So yeah, this entire video was just an interesting shower thought that I had, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know who your favorite character is, because let's see if Hoyoverse agrees.